What's up, everybody? It is Matt from Dagger Studios. Today we are going to be watching a video from the British that were in Inkerman, and specifically at FOB Inkerman at the most northern part of the AO that when we took over. And you're going to be watching a video from post 3 on FOB Inkerman, and this is just crazy to be able to watch this footage. I have not seen any videos from Inkerman since I left, and one of the reasons why is because during our time there, the DoD came and confiscated NCIS. They all came and confiscated all of our footage across the AO, and specifically from Inkerman. There's a couple of reasons why. One is that allegedly somebody from Kilo uploaded a kill video. It was more like a motivational video from their time and their patrols to YouTube in 2010. So that's what they claimed, but there's a whole lot of subcontext that we just don't really have to go. We don't have the time to go into this, but we are going to be watching this video and walking down memory lane real quick on this. So for reference, this is the Brits in Inkerman post 3, 2008 or 2009 time frame, right before we got there. But the post looked exactly like this when we showed up. So let's get into that. So real quick, what you're looking at, and to give a whole bunch of frame and context on this video, what you're looking at is a couple of British Marines engaging the enemy in the green zone, which is post 3. Like the way that they're oriented, the way that they're facing, they're looking at the river that's in Helmand, that runs all the way down Helmand. To the left of them is more of Sangin. If you were to push down into Sangin from Inkerman on the 611, which at the time was an unimproved dirt road, this post 3 on Inkerman was at the front left of the FOB in context to the river. And so their sectors of fire covered all the way down the 611 to go into Sangin primary, and then the right lateral limit overlapped with post 4, which is further right in the post, also positioned over the 611. And this particular post is scaffolded and it's elevated, so you're inside the pillbox, so to speak. That's about 20-25 feet up in the air, and that has been built. This scaffold has been built with HESCO barriers around it. That's what these guys are leaning on, and that's what they're shooting from. This particular post had 3 or 4 different weapon systems on it when we got there. The Marine on the left is shooting some sort of British heavy weapon platform. There's also a Mark 19 grenade launcher and then a 240. And I think we just swept through that and you'll see that. But it's just crazy to see this because this is exactly how it looked like when we took over in 2010. And it's so hard, like I said, to find videos of this. So there's the scaffolding right there. And the way where you see these guys' feet, right behind their feet is the trap door to actually get up into the post. So there's the Mark 19, there's the 240. That was our standard for how we did it when we got there. I'm going to pause it again right there. So this particular place was the absolute Wild West. It was insane. And when we got there, FOB Inkerman was extremely dilapidated. Like the Brits were tired. Those guys were tired. They were ready to roll. And we had to do a ton of improvements on everything in FOB Inkerman, especially the posts, because they were just not up to U.S. Marine Corps standards. Not to crap on the Brits. They did an awesome job with what they had. but we just fight different. And so we had to completely revamp post 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them. But this particular post was insane. Post 3 and post 1 were the most action packed on Inkerman in terms of when you had to stand post. So it's just crazy. It was just absolutely crazy there. So getting back to the footage, to give you guys more context and a snapshot of this, what he's looking at is the green zone. We called it the green zone, and that is where Kilo would execute their patrols to the right, over his right shoulder, a little bit, maybe about 800 to 1200 meters out. And further to the right was PB fires, patrol-based fires. That was a little PB that the Kilo guys set up. And I've got some crazy, wicked stories about PB fires and all those guys and building that freaking bridge to get out there that almost destroyed my wrist and my hand. But focusing on this, what you're looking at, this whole area off of post 3 here is, again, the green zone. So right now you can't really see because this video is like 15 years old, if not older. But, and I don't know exactly the time of day and the date, so to speak, of when this was taken, but that is where all of the cannabis and all of the opium is grown. Afghanistan produced 90% of the world's opium. Helmand specifically produced 50% of Afghanistan's production. So Helmand was producing 15 to 20% of the world's opium at the time. And that's why we call it the green zone, because it was super fertile. The river would flood. They would flood their fields off the river and grow some of the best opium and cannabis in the world there. But it was highly contested, obviously, for a lot of reasons. Outside of the insurgency, it's all about the drugs, and things were crazy out there. A lot of dudes got wounded out there. A lot of guys died out in those fields.
Yeah, got some slowly fly down, yeah. Right, this infantry reach it, can't it? No. Well, right, just waiting the Brits in it. Oh, I've got a bottle of water on it. Anyone got any water on them?
Guys just laying hate. So we'll watch it one more time. I'll add some more commentary to it. So there's another really good view right there, that short little glimpse of the green zone down there. Post 3 had a unique view because, like I said, you could look all the way down to your left, down the 611. But on the left side of the 611 was all these buildings, just tons and tons of buildings over there, where you were constantly having to deal with spotters and kids with ICOM, which are radios, relaying your positions. What are you doing? Are you guys sleeping? Are you guys paying attention? Oh, there's a good little clip of the crops, the row crops for their opium. And it just goes on and on from there, like just wild stuff. I'm gonna pause it right there. So yeah, that's a gnarly video to see that, and to see how it was as exactly like we took it over in 2010. So just a wild throwback. Like I said, we changed a whole bunch of stuff on that FOB, and I'll probably make more videos if I can find more footage. But this is the real steel component to what we do, or what we did. And why I'm still playing airsoft, just because it's such a great mental stimulation, physical stimulation, and really a relaxer. But yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Just just wild stuff. So glad we got to see that video.